Welcome along to this video presentation from the Computer Information Agency. My name is Robert Crane, and in this video we'll take a look at applying SharePoint 2010 Service Pack 1 on SBS 2011. So as you can see now, I have my SBS machine. I've logged in here. Again, we've closed the console and we've already downloaded the service pack. So the service pack here is in a local directory. Now to commence the installation of that, I need to right mouse click on that and select the Run as Administrator option from the menu that is displayed. You'll see that I'm prompted for the user account control, so select yes to allow that to operate. You'll then be prompted to accept the license terms, so basically click the accept down in the bottom left and the continue button. You'll then see that the files are being extracted. They'll be extracted onto your system and then basically installed. So once you see that the files have been extracted, you'll notice that they are now being installed. It's important to note that in this case all they are doing is installing the binaries. There will be a command line option we will need to run after this process has completed. Once the package is finished installing, you'll be prompted to reboot your server. So again, we select yes, and this will now reboot our SBS server, and we'll continue the installation once that is complete. Now that the server's rebooted, we need to actually go in and run a command line psconfig command to complete the process. But before we do that, let's just go in and view the version since it actually hasn't been updated. So go into your Start, All Programs, open the Microsoft SharePoint 2010 products, right mouse click on the Central Admin option and select to Run as Administrator. Accept the user account control again. So this will launch the administration console for SharePoint, and we're just going to go in there and look at the version prior to actually applying the upgrade to our SharePoint components. So now the central administration is running, what we need to do is to go into the Manage Servers in this farm. So again, if you want to go the long way, you can go through System Settings, and then you'll see it displayed basically here. So we want to manage the servers in this farm, so we click on this, and when the screen displays, you'll notice up the top it will give us a version number of the SharePoint installation. So at this point you can see that it's 14.0.4762.1000. So in this case we know from the version number of Service Pack 1 that this isn't current. You'll also notice that down here under the Microsoft SharePoint Foundation 2010 server, which in this case is our SBS server, you'll notice that the status displays that an upgrade is available. So again, although that we've downloaded and run the service pack, it hasn't currently been applied to our SharePoint installation and components. So we now need to do that. The easiest way to do that is via a command line. So we need to go out to the command prompt. We again start, right mouse click on command prompt and run that as an administrator, accept the user account control. We just need to change to the SharePoint directory. And as you can see, this directory is C:program files, common files, Microsoft shared, web server extensions, 14, and then bin. So the command that I'm actually going to type in here, I've displayed in Notepad to make it easier to read. So I'm going to run psconfig.exe space -cmd space upgrade space minus in place space B2B space minus force space minus CMD space application content space minus install space minus CMD space install features. So I put that into my command line and then basically hit the enter key to start that process off. You'll now see that the products configuration wizard has now commenced, and that will run through approximately 6 steps to apply those updates to the SharePoint installation, as well as upgrade the schema that's in there. And I'll see that the process has completed successfully. It's done the 6 steps. It took a little while to go through. It obviously depends on the power of your hardware. So let's go back into central administration, go back to system settings, and let's just view what the current version of our SharePoint farm is. So to do that, we go to manage servers on this farm, and you'll notice now that the version is 14.06029.1000, and you'll notice down here under the status that it has no action required. So we now have brought up our installation of SharePoint 2010 on SBS 2011 up to Service Pack 1 level. Now, if for any reason you do have some issues, what you need to then go into is have a look at some of the logs. So the logs are created when the program does execute, and again you'll find those buried down in C:, program files, common files, Microsoft shared, web server extensions, 14, and logs. So again, you can see the number of standard logs here, but if we view this by the date modified, you'll notice, for example, what we've got here is a diagnostics, and you'll see that we have an upgrade log here. Now if we do open this up, you'll see that there is quite a significant amount of information here, and it all is a little bit verbose to follow through, but if there are any errors, you will find them in this file to help you debug the issue. So again, what we've been able to do is we've been able to download and install Service Pack 1 for SharePoint 2010 on SBS 2011. The way we've done that is to download and install the Service Pack from Microsoft, and then importantly we've had to go in and we've had to run a command line option, a psconfig option, to complete that process and bring our farm up to date. So that concludes our quick session on installing SharePoint Service Pack 1 on SBS 2011. Thank you very much for watching. This video has been brought to you by the SharePoint Operations Guide. For information on how to install, migrate and maintain Windows SharePoint, visit www.wssops.com. For any feedback or comment on this video, please send it via email to director@ciaops.com. Otherwise, follow along on the blog supportweb.ciaops.net.au/blog for more information about video tutorials. Thank you very much for watching.